everyone, welcome back to Cars and Zebras. Today I have another featured drag race, so I sure hope that you enjoy it. If you do find it entertaining, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel because I do post these videos regularly, and also make sure to share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. I do appreciate you watching, and with that said, let's check out our featured drag race. This is a 1971 Chevrolet Chevelle, and at first glance it might appear somewhat innocent, but I can assure you, underneath, this thing is about as innocent as O.J. Simpson because it is a Super Sport 454. And for 1971, the LS5 454 was about as good as it gets. The previous year's LS6, that was the 454 with 450 horsepower, well, it didn't really pass emissions for 1971, so it was no longer available to the general public. And yes, there were a few media outlets that tested a 1971 Chevelle equipped with an LS6. It had 425 horsepower, so there are a couple probably floating around. But for the general public, the LS5 equipped 454 Chevelle, that was the king dog for 1971. And this one is a perfect example. What a fantastic looking car. Let's talk a little bit more about that LS5 454 V8. It was rated 365 horsepower at 4,800 RPM and 465 pound-feet of torque at 3,200 RPM. But not so fast, my friends. Those are gross horsepower ratings. Net horsepower, 285. But you know what? This was around the time that the government was really into S&M, and essentially they were throwing all of the muscle cars into gimp suits. Everybody was getting choked out. I mean, it is what it is. There were only 2 transmissions available for the 1971 Chevelles equipped with the 454. You'll see that this one has the ultra robust Turbo 400 3-speed automatic, but you could still get the M22 Rock Crusher 4-speed manual. And come on, you guys, how nice is that interior? I mean, look at these seats. They look so comfortable. I mean, you could just cruise in this car all day. And speaking of that, let's take a little break here. There's something I want to tell you guys. Come on, get in a little bit closer. The current owner has had this car since 1981, and if I recall correctly, he told me this is actually his wife's daily driver. How awesome is that? But think about it, this is a perfect car for a daily driver. It's got air conditioning, cruise control, it's comfortable, it's got a hydraulic lifter cam so it's gonna stay in tune fairly well. And oh yeah, it's a 454. And we all know when it comes to 454s, you can spank those things all day, just like that girl in 50 Shades of Grey, and it's gonna keep coming back for more. Not that I watched that movie, don't start that rumor, you guys. Okay, I'll come clean, I watched it, and I didn't like it. Okay, I liked it a little bit. Rear gearing on this car is the stock 331, but you could upgrade to a 410. Curb weight was 3,842 pounds for the big block convertible, and pricing, well, it wasn't terrible for this car. The convertible started at $3,260. Then you had to add $357 for the Super Sport package, and then you had to add another $279 for the 454. But that does not include the other options like the air conditioning, the cruise control, or that absolutely sensual cowl induction hood that gives me extremely happy dreams at night. So without any other options, the Super Sport 454 convertible, adjusting for inflation, would be about $25,000 today. Not too bad. Original testing states this car could run 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds and the quarter mile in 14.35 seconds at 97 miles per hour. But I'll bet you with some good tires and a good tune, this thing's gonna run just a little bit quicker than that. But enough talk about the Chevelle, let's check out its opponent. This is a 1971 Dodge Charger RT, and this car, let me tell you guys, is one fine piece of automotive engineering. That's what I mean. It's a fine piece of automotive engineering. Because it's got a 440 Magnum stuffed in between those fenders. And just like the Chevelle, in 1971, the Charger was starting to feel quite a bit of pressure from the government. Kind of like those diamond commercials during the holidays. It's the holiday season, and you know what that means. You should be buying diamonds for your girlfriend, you poor schmuck. Otherwise, she's dumping your poor ass. It's Jared! Buy our diamonds or everybody will hate you this holiday season. And with those government regulations, the compression ratio was 9.7 to 1, which was not bad at all for 1971. That gave a gross horsepower rating of 375 at 4,600 RPM and 480 pound-feet of torque at 3,200 RPM. Now, as I stated, those were gross ratings. Net horsepower, 305. Not great, but it still has the advantage over the Chevelle. There were two transmissions available in the Charger RT that year. This one features the 3-speed automatic. Of course, it's the tried and true, ever reliable Torque Flight. But at no additional cost, you could swap that out for a 4-speed manual if you wanted that third pedal and to row your own gears. 355 gears were relatively common in these cars, but this one has been upgraded to 410 gears. So it should get off the line just fine. And it's gonna probably need that more aggressive gearing because this chunk monster came in with a curb weight of 3,800 pounds, but this car specifically is weighing in at 4,100 pounds. So hide your donuts, hide your ice cream, we eating everything in here. Base price for the 71 Dodge Charger RT with the 440 was $3,777, and adjusting for inflation, that'd be about $24,000 today. So it was a little bit cheaper than the Chevelle, but that's to be expected. It's not a convertible. And if you guys are curious, you could still get 6-pack carburation on this 440, and it was going to cost you another $125. And it gave you about another 10 horsepower, amongst other things, you know, a higher compression ratio and a few upgrades. I'm sure most of you are aware, but 1971 was the last year that you could get the 426 Street Hemi in the Charger. And if you were going to check that box, it was going to cost you another $883. But if you really wanted to flex your wealth to your friends, you had to get the cassette player option. It also came with a microphone jack so you could dictate and record while you were driving. And that thing was going to cost you $366. But enough talk about these two cars. Let's see how they do on the drag strip.
Michiganers, you tell me how to pronounce it. Honey. Isn't that like Romeo and Juliet or something like that? Shakespeare thing? Yeah. Anyway, that's a SS454 from 1971, and that's a very good color for 1971. I don't remember what the Placer Gold I think Chevy called it. He is going against Ted Lewis. I just had a conversation with Troy.
Again, thanks for watching, I really appreciate it. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future drag race videos. And of course, I'll see you at the next one.